Christmas, it'll be here before we know it. Coming up is a list of the recommendations I think all new photographers would love to unwrap on Christmas Day. Stay tuned. All of the items that I'm going to be talking about today, there's affiliate links in the description box below. These are all things that I've either owned or I currently own, so I have a little bit of experience with each of these, and it's just not a blind recommendation. If you have questions about any of these, please leave a comment in the comment section, and I promise I'll get back to you. Let's go ahead and kick this thing off. The very first thing you're going to need is a camera. Now, I'm assuming that many of the new photographers, they have cameras of some sort. So, if your photographer already has a camera, then don't worry about this. However, if this is someone who's shown interest in photography and you're looking to get them kick-started and you want to future-proof them as they move beyond if they're just using a camera phone, then they're going to need a nice camera that either crop sensor or full frame, not really important. I have some options in the description box below that I think every photographer is going to like. And what's even better is these are kits right off of Amazon. So if there's things that they're going to need because they have absolutely nothing, this is going to get them up and running in no time. And you may not even need a lot of the things that are on this list because it's all included in the package. So check those out. Now, there are a lot of camera manufacturers out there, so I'm not going to recommend one over the other. But as I've mentioned, I've used mostly everything in this list. When it comes to the cameras, I've only rented a Sony, so I never owned a Sony. But the Canons and the Nikons, I have owned at some point in my life those versions of the cameras, or an earlier version, or I currently own them. So I am recommending something that you can get for a photographer and they will love it. And it works. Tripods are a staple in photography. Every photographer needs one. Unwrapping one on Christmas for the photographer who doesn't own a tripod, they're going to love you for it. Now, if they already own a tripod, try and find them one of the lighter versions of a tripod so that way they can take it with them when they travel. That's one of the challenges that photographers have. There are many tripods on the market, but not all of them are light and durable. The other thing you're going to want to look for in a tripod is a ball head. Again, I have a recommendation of the tripod I think you or the photographer in your life would like, so check out that link in the description box. Next up on the list is a speed light. These things are extremely versatile. They can be thrown into a camera bag, so if a photographer needs a little bit of extra light when they're out on location, they can pull that out of the bag, turn it on, and boom, they instantly have light in a place where there may not be light, or there may not be enough light for them to photograph the subject that they're looking to photograph. So the next item I have is a 50mm prime lens. Now, this is probably my favorite item on the list. I started out in photography using a 50mm lens, and then I went to a 35mm lens. And the images I produced with the 50, I just fell in love with so much. It's such an easy focal length for a new photographer to grab and just learn how to master. In fact, I still use my 50mm lens till this day. I started out with Nikon and I moved to Canon, so now I have a Canon 50mm, and I only use the 1.8. Any photographer will get great images out of the 1.8, especially if they're just starting out. They're going to love you for giving them something that is so versatile. With this, you want to make sure that when you purchase the lens, that it fits their camera. So you're going to have to ask them what type of camera they have and what mount it takes. That way you can go to all the stores. If you go to a camera store, B&H Online, or if you just go to Amazon, whatever, you'll be able to tell them, I'm looking for this type of lens for this type of camera. So find out what camera the person has and you'll be good to go. SD cards. Without an SD card, photographers will not be able to store their images. They will not be able to capture their images. Now, most modern cameras, they take an SD card of some sort, either UHS-1 or UHS-2. There are some other memory cards out there, so you can really think of this as memory cards overall, but SD cards seem to be the common type of card. Again, find out what your photographer uses and what type of memory storage they use inside of the camera. Doesn't matter if they have 50 memory cards. Memory cards fail and memory cards fill up really fast and we lose them. So it's a really good idea to get your photographer at least 1 or 2 memory cards for Christmas. Because next up is a reflector. So you may not know it, but as a photographer, our job is to manipulate and control the light as much as we can as we capture the light hitting and interacting with our subject. Getting a reflector allows the photographer to point light back into the subject. This is something that most portrait photographers, they're always looking for some sort of reflector, especially if they only have one light. Now this reflector paired with the speed light that I discussed earlier will come in extremely handy, and it becomes a really versatile kit for any photographer. So my recommendation is you get a 5-in-1 reflector. This is going to give them 4 different surfaces plus the translucent center piece that they can shoot through, and it's called diffusing the light. And that is extremely helpful for any photographer. These are fairly inexpensive, so I do recommend that you buy at least a 30-inch, or I think it's 120 centimeters. Sorry for all my metric friends out there. But before I go into the last item on the list, let me know what you guys think so far about the list of recommendations for beginner photographers. Is this something that's helpful? If so, just tap that like button and leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know that you really appreciate getting something that helps out photographers. The last item that I have is a camera bag. You want to make sure that your photographer has a place to store all of their equipment and something that they can throw on their back or over their shoulder and walk out the door with, knowing that they have the equipment they need to go do whatever photo shoot or gig that they have. Now, I have gone through, I think 7 or 8 camera bags, and I've only been a photographer since 2012, but I've gone through shoulder strap bags, backpacks, satchels, all kinds of stuff. My favorite bag till this day that I recently purchased, and I use this every time I go out and about, is the Mind Shift bag that I have in the description box below. It is my favorite camera bag. I leave a lot of my essentials inside of that bag, especially if I know that I don't use it in the house, and I take it out. So my recommendation is you get a camera bag for your photographer. Doesn't really matter the size, doesn't really matter the shape. I think that you want to focus, if you know that they're a landscape photographer, get them something with 2 straps that they can wear like a regular backpack. This is going to help them out so much, paired with a super light tripod that they can put onto the side of the camera bag when they're going up and down hills and into caves and all kinds of stuff. They don't have to worry about their equipment being moved around. You'll also want to make sure that there's some sort of rain cover protector. Most camera bags that are backpacks, they do come with this, but some of them don't. So if you know that they're going to be out and about, make sure that you get them something they can use in the rain, in the snow, wherever, and their equipment is going to be protected. Because as you look through the list of equipment, there are some expensive things on this list. So there it is. That's my list of what I think every new photographer would love to unwrap under the tree. If there's something that you see on the list that you think is really cool, let me know in the comment section below. If there's something you have questions about, you can also let me know in the comment section below. And like I say around here, until next time, stay inspired and keep creating. Peace.